Bam, we are live, man. Welcome back to the Cowboy Cast. Harvey, football is literally around the corner. Tomorrow it'll be a week away from kickoff. Won't be Cowboys kickoff. Cowboys play Sunday night prime time, baby. We play at night, man. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. What are your feelings like?
I'm excited, going through this 53-man roster, all the stuff that's happened over the last couple of months, man. I'm excited, man. Football's back. We kind of get that Saturday with college football going on, so I'm excited, man. I can't wait. I know everybody's excited about this season, especially the Cowboys, obviously, always every year. But yeah, man, I can't wait, man.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I mean, this preseason it's been one for the ages. I don't know what the word is to put it in perspective. I know that, and we haven't been live in quite some time, but I want to say thank you for tuning in, right? Because we have been putting out some content, just to make sure that Cowboy Cast, we're still live. We're just trying to make sure that we get ready, man. Because once we get locked in and loaded on the regular season, I mean. It's
gonna be nonstop, man. It's gonna be nonstop.
And that's why I will say this, and I've never been that person, but the amount of work that it takes just to do a show, just to do just a 8-minute, 10-minute YouTube, it takes a lot of time, effort, thought process, brainstorming between Harvey and myself. I mean, it really, really does. So, anytime you guys feel in your heart to give us a gift or whatnot, we greatly appreciate that. Of course, you guys could do your thing. Obviously, if you're on Facebook, there's a give section there. If you're on TikTok, which we are live, and for whatever reason, we had been having some problems with TikTok for a while. We couldn't go live, but hey, I guess it knows it's football season, right? So it is what it is, man. We're gonna be talking about the 53-man roster. I mean, Harv. Anything that you want to say before I go off this 53-man list? I'm gonna just read them all off, man.
I think to me, the ones that out of the 53-man roster, there's I'm trying to think. I think really there's only one that I was off on, and that was Neville Gilmore. I thought he'd be gone. That was the only one that I got actually wrong. That was pretty good. So, but I think everybody's on the Hunter train, man. Hunter Luki train. That guy is versatile, man. He's a Swiss Army tool. So I'm excited to see him and what Mike McCarthy has in store for him. But I think that's out of all the players, that's the most exciting one to me. And then obviously Deuce Vaughn, man. Those are the two that I think it's going to change this offense. So, but that's about it, man. I think that's the biggest ones that I'm hyped about.
No doubt, man. I mean, there's still players, right? I mean, I we have been seeing names that are floating around, right, that we're not going to make this 53-man roster. And believe it or not, they didn't make the roster either because they got traded or they just got cut. Jabril Cox was on the hot seat. He's no longer with the Cowboys. He's now a Washington Commander. Kelvin Joseph, he was on the bubble. Me and you thought that maybe perhaps he had, the special coordinators, Coach Bones, was his pet cat and didn't want to let him go. But hey, we got Noah Mbigani, right? And I'm gonna butcher his name all season long until he's a Cowboy. Let's get caught up with some of these comments. We're Joseph Batten calling me out. Why Jerry always late, right? Where are you, Jerry? And then here we go. And that's where we're at right now. So Saltbox, man. I haven't seen that guy in forever, man. Good to see you, man. Good luck to your team this season. But we already know, man.
Neither have I, man.
Hey, he knows, man, that this year it's hard, right? Because we're not eating the cheese, but it smells really good, Harv. I mean,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is the most talented team, I think, since the Super Bowl days that I've seen in a long time, man. So I'm excited.
I want to give a hats off to the front office because I feel that right from the get-go, Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, those were like, wow. I mean, Wow, and then the Monty Smith thing was something that we haven't seen done in since 92 with Russell
92. Russell Maryland. Yep.
Maryland, a defense tackle in the first round, and then it didn't stop. Shipping off Kelvin Joseph, getting Noah. We gotta find a nickname for him, man. Look at this. Joseph says, "I mean the cheese, man."
Yes, sir.
Cowboy Southbox, obviously, for those that don't know, on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you guys are, or on Twitter, if you guys are watching there, we have a Twitter. The Southbox, he just doesn't like the Cowboys. I mean, there's, so he's not alone. Look at Joseph being. I mean the cheese, right? Hopefully, right? Hopefully, it doesn't constipate our year this year. You know what I mean? Hopefully, everything just flows right, nice and easy. A user says Deuce and Hunter are lightning and thunder. Oh, damn. Woo. Let's go through this 53-man roster, Harv. Let's get right into it, man. Of course, Dakota Prescott, Cooper Rush as your backup quarterback. Quarterback 3, Harv. We have yet to have heard your take on air or on any segment. Trey Lance, former third pick overall in the first round by the 49ers, who gave up 3 first rounders. Cowboys traded a 4th for him. What are your thoughts on Trey Lance, man? We gotta get your insight. For those that don't know, man.
It's my quarterback.
So, hey, man, this is what I'll say.
I want to hear it from a quarterback. I want to hear it from a quarterback's mouth right now.
This is what I say, man. I think at the end of the day, I honestly wanted a quarterback in this draft. And until you said something, I like Clayton Tooney from Houston. But when you said O'Donnell, I looked at O'Donnell, and O'Donnell looked very interesting. So either one of those or the guy from Stanford, I forget his name. Either one of those 3 I would have been happy with, but we didn't. I guess we had glaring needs somewhere else, which is fine. But this is the thing, right? I love Dak, but at the end of the day, as an owner, as a coach, do you take a chance on this type of team that you have constructed over these last couple of months with just Cooper Rush?
Ooh, man, Harv, that's a good question, man.
And I think that's the thing that Jerry probably his head went through is, if Dak does get hurt and I have Cooper Rush, am I okay with Cooper Rush? Because if you look at Trey Lance, he can run the ball.
He has everything. He has the whole package.
So I'm not saying that he's gonna just go out, but at least you have 2 quarterbacks that you can actually play and be able to either go in special packages or whatever the case may be and put the defense on his toes. And it's not just all on Cooper Rush. So to me, I think that's the number one thing. The other thing is these quarterbacks are getting paid a lot more. I think we're in the 52 range, somewhere there.
And Dak is up next.
Or Dak is up next, man. So I just think,
regardless, his salary cap hit is 59 mil next year. It doesn't matter.
So I just think at the end of the day, you, as an organization, you have to have some kind of leverage somehow at some point. You can't just be left out in the wind and not have a secondary plan. So I think those are kind of the things. I don't think Dak's going to go anywhere, to be honest. But that you have to prepare for the worst. I think that's what they're trying to do. Ultimately.
For sure. Hey, JT5508 on TikTok said, "Is Lance the quarterback of the future?"
That's hard to say, man. I don't know, because I mean, the way this team's constructed, I think this is, and it's hard, man, because we don't know.
We really don't, man.
We don't. Like we have to find out what happens this year, and then we'll probably know a little bit more after that. But we'll see, man.
Let me ask you this one question, because we got to move on to the rest of the 53-man roster. Is it a win-win situation for the Cowboys to get in Trey Lance?
Yes, of course.
And do you foresee Dak Prescott being the quarterback for the next, 3 to 5 seasons, maybe.
Yes.
If he's able to stay healthy, of course.
Yeah. Yes. Of course.
And shouts out to Dak Prescott. Obviously, he knew what he was doing when he hired that agent, the sports agent of his. Because, dang, he's been able to pull so much money away from the Cowboys, man. Uh, so a Diedrich, I want to say it says Spotsville, right on TikTok says Dallas is going to be 5-12. Wow, that's early prediction. I mean, look, the schedule's hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very tough schedule. But not with the defense like the Dallas Cowboys.
No, not 5-12, man. There's no
Not
way.
5-12, man. Not with this defense. This defense is ready to roll. JT5508 says yes, it's too early to predict. It really is.
Yep.
4-1 with Cooper Rush. I like Dak, but I ain't giving him another 4 years unless NFC title game. That's by 4 Kid Dad. And Gilbert says good D. I mean, he's on point. Let's see here. Joseph says, I'm eating the cheese every year. Just some years it spoils faster than others. I think that's probably the perfect analogy to be using.
Hamster ball. What? We got a sighting, man.
The Chicago Bears will finish 3rd place in the NFC North this year. Anyways, getting back on subject. Hamster says Trey Lance getting Dak's job in week 6. I don't know. I will say this. Trey Lance is huge. I mean, he's very tall compared to Dak.
Yeah.
But Dak, I don't know. Did you see the pictures today of Dak Prescott and Trey Lance right next to each other practicing? Trey Lance has the skinniest legs I've ever seen on a quarterback, man. And you look at Dak, and Dak is, I mean, he's very, has a very well-built structure. So I'll tell you this, Trey Lance, I think that he's happy to be here. I mean, we heard him talk. We highlighted the clip on all our social medias. If you're not there, go and follow us right now. Let's see. Joseph, I like it. A 4th round pick is a development pick. It's worth it for a guy with real upside. He's just so green. Had less than 500 passing attempts entire high school college career. That is actually something that's that has been highlighted more now, Harv, that he's a Dallas Cowboy than he was with the 49ers. Yes or no?
He's 23 years old, man.
23.
Come on.
Didn't he win a championship at North Dakota?
Yeah, he did. He's 23, man. So
Fernando! What's up, man? What's up, fellas? Man, it's good to see you.
He's actually in Dallas now, right?
I think so. Well, last time we talked, he said that we're like, oh, he's in Detroit, but he said, I think he just moved to Texas.
Yeah.
If I'm Jerry Jones right now, I am trading Dak Prescott to the Pacers for a 7th round pick and maybe a bag of chips, maybe, right? I'm pretty sure that the Patriots would part away with a 1st round pick for Dak Prescott. I think Bill Belichick has been on the actual podium and has talked highly about Dak. I think every coach, every player in the league respects Dak more than the fans do. And that is saying something, man. I tell you that man he's had to go through so much hardship in his life, Harv. And look at him, man. I mean, mentally, he's there mentally strong. Sir says Trey, a great trade value next season or 2 may just get better picks. So I think I can kind of elaborate with what we're saying or what he's kind of saying. Because, ultimately you have a 5th-year option with Trey Lance because he was a 1st round pick. If the Cowboys feel that because they're draft and develop, which is what, every content creator, including all the Cowboys insiders, including Jerry Jones and Will McClay, and even Coach Mike McCarthy says they're draft and develop team. They're going to give him the next 2 years to develop. If he develops and he becomes a franchise type of caliber quarterback, I mean, who knows what the market is going to be in 2 years from now, Harv, but the Cowboys can easily trade him away for a couple 1st round picks. We've seen the Philadelphia Eagles do this with quarterbacks in the past. What's your take, Harv?
No, I agree with that. I mean, you can always, depending on how he develops or how things work out for him, you can easily use a trading with him for somebody as well. So at the end of the day, man, I think it's a win for him and it's a win for us. So either way, I don't care what people think. I think it's a great move. Look, I keep telling, I'm going to keep saying this. Jerry feels like this is probably one of the best teams he's had. He has to. And he cannot let the quarterback position be the one that falters just in case Dak gets hurt. He has to have somebody in there as a second and third, even the third quarterback to try to push him through all these, the whole season, because the season's long. So I agree, man.
I mean, win-win situation, a fourth rounder. I mean, it wasn't a first and it wasn't a second, it wasn't a third, right? Those are your money. Those are your money ones. Turn out to clarify this. I'm in East Lansing, Michigan right now. Got to show love to my college school. I went to Michigan State Friday Night Lights this week.
Let's go.
Yeah, Barb, just tell a little story about Friday Night Lights. I mean, what is it? Because I mean, you were at the biggest stage in your life, and I know you got some family. I mean, direct family that are getting into the football scene. But explain Friday Night Lights for those that just
Look, man, it's this easy, right? You got the police department at the stadium. You got the fire department. They're all relaxing, chilling, making sure everybody's okay. Everybody's parking. You hear you smell, you hear the barbecue pits sparkling, popping. You can smell the fajitas, the sausage, the
everything.
flour tortillas, the barbecue sauce, the pico de gallo, the nachos, the popcorn, the drinks. Then you go out to the field and you see the players warming up, sweating a little bit. You smell the grass, you see the scoreboard. And luckily for us, where we're from, when you drive down the expressway, you see it's dark and all you see is lights in one section. And our stadium is on the side of the highway.
It is
You can't like
right off of the highway.
Just the atmosphere, the fans yelling, you're looking up in the stands. Like, you can't beat it, man. You can't beat it.
It's where it all starts. It started for all these 53-man rosters right now.
Yep.
Joseph says another issue aside from his lack of experience is he's had injury issues all throughout high school, college, and even first couple of years in the NFL. You know, this is something that has been noted, but he's been training, and he said it too. He's been training in Frisco, man. So obviously, and he said he seeked out to Dak in the offseason for his ankle injury. I think that was the last injury he came from. If anything, you know, this is the first offseason that we've actually heard Dak say that his ankle is not bothering him, his calf is not bothering him. And that, when he said it so sincerely, so eloquently. It makes you feel like kind of bad, I guess, if you're really hard on Dak, I guess. You know, it is what it is, you know. And so I think that this is a perfect situation for Trey Lance because in reality, nobody's expecting him. I mean, everybody wants to see Dak fail. So all eyes on Dak. And I think the only time the spotlight would be on Trey Lance right now, it would fall if Dak goes down and Cooper goes down, you know. But I think that Mike McCarthy, I think he's here for the long haul. I think that this move explains that they're going to allow McCarthy, Dan Quinn, and Will McClay to build this team up the right way. A team that is literally in contention year after year after year after year, and it looks like they have a plan for every player. I've even heard Stephen Jones talk about how they want to lock up. I mean, they want to lock up CeeDee Lamb next and Terrence Steele. I mean, all that love, man. Let me get caught up on TikTok real quick. So Gilbert, right? Gilbert was the one that's saying good D. He says Cowboys running game will save Dak on throwing his picks this year, and he says deuce. Dakota Wilson says, I think if Dak throws interceptions, they are going to bench him for his mistakes and put Cooper in. Man, Cooper Rush is very limited. I know that Cooper has his own little squad, his own little following base, including my cousin Tuna. Man, he says Cooper Rush is a franchise quarterback. I said, man, get out of here with that junk. Gilbert says LF. Uh-oh. Does Gilbert know? Uh-oh. Does he know where LF is? Only the Chews know who LFs are. Robert Williams says DC for life. We're taking that division this year. Gilbert says good stuff. We appreciate you, Gilbert. I'm pretty sure he's talking about your Friday night harmony.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even say how you were, you know, you didn't even say that you were nervous or anything because, I mean, you did win, what, 2 district championships back to back when you took over?
Well, no, we just won, but
after that,
But
you left in a good place, man. I think they went on a 3-year run after you. Let's see. Jared Kirby says NFC East runs through Philly.
we will see, man. We will see. We got receipts.
We do have
We will.
receipts
We will see.
because when you buy something, you want to take it back. You got to show proof of
Yeah.
purchase. So Jared Kirby, check back with us, man, and make sure you guys tune in because we do plan to go live. Right? How we were doing it last year was Sunday kickoff and Sunday post game, and I believe this year our schedule might change a little bit. We might do a Monday. Monday and Wednesdays because of our schedule. We're both going to school, just so you guys know, because everybody wants to know what we're doing. We're both going to school, so round of applause. Loyalty for Lifetime says, Sup, 956, my signal back because of the blue moon, but we need Greedy Williams, Leatherwood, and Melvin Gordon. Oh, Gilbert says, was on the squad of La Feria, you in Central Tex, Javier.
Is that Castro? I think that's Castro.
You think it's Castro?
No, I'm not actually. I was Gilbert. I was probably 2 years ago, but I'm actually in Maryland now. So,
man, people don't know, man. Harvey was a badass, man. He was a badass. He's a very humble guy, man. But he was actually
I was okay.
He was a badass. He set the record back in the you set the interception record because you're a free safety and you were quarterback. And if the coaches let you probably would have done kickoff return and punt return.
I probably would have. Yeah, it is Gilbert Castor, man. Hell yeah.
Hey, round of applause.
Hey, he's a good player, man. He's a good player.
Hey, if you can click the link in the bio, man, and give us a subscribe on the YouTube. We're trying to hit this. We're trying to get this page up to 1,000, man. Harv, what's the number at right now? I think we're
752.
752, man. Thank you all. I just want to say first and foremost, I think that everybody is amazing here on the Cowboy Cast. I really do enjoy this time. Even sometimes we go over an hour. I don't care, man. We read every single comment. We share that experience. We even make segments off of that. But let's get caught up on YouTube real quick. I think Joseph said, I agree. This is perfect situation for Lance. He no longer has to deal with being the third overall pick in the draft. He's already been counted out. All he can do is grow and develop. Perfect, man. I think that should be his poem. He did say Cooper is trash. I think that's funny. KW Hoopy26 says Greedy got beat by 2 rookies. So I guess because somebody was talking about bringing them in, right?
No, I think we're fine where we're at.
Yeah, man. Let's go through the rest. Okay, so we got Dak, Cooper, and Trey. Those are 3 quarterbacks. Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dotto, Hunter Lukey.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited about that running back, boy. Come on, Hunter. Bring it home, baby.
He says Greedy got beat, so we traded Bossman for her. And then Gilbert says defense wins championships. Yes, they do. And this is definitely a defensive no. I'm sorry. This is a championship level of defense the Cowboys have this year. I mean, the one person that's the outlier, I would say, is man, the one that is really taking the reign right now is Michael Parsons. Harv, he really wants the Super Bowl so bad, man.
He does.
Real quick, I mean, did you ever doubt Deuce would make the team? Just out of curiosity speaking.
No doubt.
I think he set the tone the first preseason game, right?
Yep.
I mean, after that, it was just fun to see him, but I was like, nah, we could just save him to
the third preseason game. They said we're gonna bubble wrap this dude.
I mean, that's a good way to put it. I mean, some players you kind of bubble wrap. What do you think about Hunter Lukey, real quick?
I love this dude, man. I really do. I really like this guy.
He has his own little following base, man. Like, I mean,
he does, man. No, I just think at the end of the day, man, he's one of those. You look at him, and I just feel like he's an old school player. Like he doesn't. It doesn't look pretty, but he gains a lot of yards when he goes forward. I don't know
And
what it is. It's
and then
just
he has a little wiggle room, like a little shiftiness to him, like especially on that touchdown, you can see how he was falling, but he was falling forward. You know what I mean? Which is a great thing you want to see.
yeah. So
How do you think they're going to use him? Fullback, running back?
I think they'll use him in fullback. They might have Pollard out there with him in shotgun, and then motion Pollard out to the outside, and then keep Luke in for blocking, and then going out, releasing out. I mean, all kinds of stuff, man. You can use him as an H back. You can use him. I mean, up the middle, you can run him the ball with him, short yardage. I mean, it's unlimited, man. What you could do with him.
Yeah, I really do think so. And we'll get to more in a little bit. Here we go with the wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, man. I think this is his year, Harv. I really do believe this is his year to be a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I mean, I know I sound like a homer, but you know what? I've been hearing it from everybody around, like especially players in the league. Everybody talking about CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, Cavante Turpin, Harv, Jalen Brooks. 7th round pick. He is on the 53-man roster.
He looks a lot bigger than what he is.
He really does, man. He plays big. I mean, he plays a lot bigger too.
Yeah, he does. So I like him too. I thought he was going to make the roster as well. I think he played better than anybody else as far as the 6, 7, 8 receivers. So I'm glad he made it, man. So
let me see what it says on TikTok. Somebody says O-line still a concern. That was by Michael McDade 6. Harv, I believe me and you were having this conversation. If you want to kind of elaborate on what we were talking about earlier about the O-line.
So I'm concerned about the O-line as well. Asim Richards played very well this offseason, preseason. So I like him. He's still a rookie though. So obviously he's still got some things to work on, but very impressed with him. TJ Bass, I like him. The way he played this offseason and the preseason. But I think with the Doga, I think he's hurt. Is he not?
Yes, I believe that right now he's on. They put him on the reserve, not on the reserve list.
And then the other thing with Matt Willitzko is just his shoulder problems. And then you mount with Steele. No offense to him, but he got hurt last year too. How is he going to come back? They say he's looking good, and from what I've seen, he does look good. And then you got Tyrone Smith. That's obviously the worrisome out of all of them. I just don't feel comfortable with our backups to go deep with this 18-week season and maybe possibly in the playoffs. So I'm just not comfortable with that. I think we need to make a move, either trade for somebody and try to get a veteran or something, but something needs to happen because I don't feel that's the part that I'm not comfortable with.
Well, you know, and I was telling you also, and I was kind of rebuttaling. I was saying, you know, with Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn, they're not the same players, but if they hit their hose, they're scoring a touchdown. That's just the type of running backs they are. So it doesn't matter how good that offensive line. Those guys are playmakers. They're just waiting. They're a home run away. You know, they're just one swing away from a home run every time they touch the ball. So I think you know, to answer your question, I understand because this is who we got. We got Jake Ferguson as tight end 1, Luke Schoonmaker as tight end 2, Peyton Henderson as tight end 3. I think you know this is where the Hunter Lukey was kind of like in there because Sean McEwen is not there. Hunter Lukey I can kind of see because Sean McEwen was doing a lot of things that a fullback was doing, right? Especially with the blocking. But here's the offensive line: Tyron Smith left tackle, Tyler Smith left guard, Tyler Biadasz center, Zach Martin right guard, Terrence Steele right tackle. We still got Willitzko, Asim Richards, TJ Bass. So it looks like right now that's where we're running in with. Like you said, you like what you saw with TJ Bass and Asim Richards, but at this level, you know, this defense is going to be giving you the ball back right away. You don't want to get your defense tired. You want to give them rest. That's what you're saying. I think we got some, you know, some very electrifying running backs that are going to make this offense seem a lot better than what it is. I think what you were saying was what worries you more is for the passing. What was the word that you used specifically?
Well, I'm not so worried about the starting 5. What I'm worried about is the depth in case somebody gets hurt. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, yes, of course.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't know if we have the backups for in case that happens. So that's what worries me. the other thing is the offensive line has to be more consistent. And I look back this last couple of weeks, I've been watching film, and I watched the Cowboys 2016, 2017. 17, Zeke got suspended for 5 games, I believe, or 6 games. And that offensive line was really good. And I kept wondering, like, what's going on? You know what the biggest difference was? Dak had a lot of time to throw the ball.
You really did, and he took advantage of every second.
Yeah. So to me, man, and I believe we finished 24th or 26th this past year in the pass win rate. That's not good, man. That is not good in the NFL. If you want to be able to win games and go deep in the playoffs, that has to come down some. So the line just has to play more consistent. And I think with the new head offensive line coach that's in, he's that type of guy that could probably change this offensive line. So I'm excited, man, but at the same time, like I said, more consistency and better depth, I believe.
I love the way you put that, and like you said, consistency. A wit dog on TikTok says, "Thanks for picking up the Niners third string quarterback." Loyalty for lifetime says, "We lost land, right?" Which is he's talking about the defensive end.
That hurt. That hurt.
Lukey, Gilbert Castro says, "Got that old fashioned play, right?"
Yep.
Which is what you were saying, like old school. He says Lance could probably hold the water bottles also for you guys, which I'm pretty sure. Why not? Why not? Less pressure on him. Let him get comfortable. Texas is a very beautiful place to be in. And then it says Tolbert is Speedy Gonzalez. Gilbert says that, man. Hey, Jalen Tolbert really showed off this preseason, didn't he, Harv?
Yeah, he did, man. He did. And I just hope it translates to the regular season, man, because that's going to be very dangerous.
Well, we saw it translate what we're seeing him doing in the training camp. It was translating to preseason. So it's pretty good because that's a good measuring stick. I believe the first preseason game had attendance of 81,000, Harv, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
That's insane, man. Brooks made a case for himself. That's by Chip Game Sports TV. Shouts out to you. Go follow everybody on TikTok that I'm reading because they are putting comments. Follow them. Help them get to 1,000 so they can go live. And, I think you're right. I think we were kind of questioning, man, we can't lose Jalen Brooks. I mean, I saw somebody say, I don't know if it was on Twitter where they're saying that the Washington Commanders are always waiting to see who the Cowboys cut so they can go and get them because they know the Cowboys are the best drafting team in the NFL. And then Robert Williams says, who's our top three? Top three overall or top three offensive line? I think Robert Williams is asking offensive line because that's when you're talking about offensive line. Top three, I guess it's going to be Tyler Smith for me. And then Zach Martin, number one, Tyler Smith, and then Terrence Steele. And then everybody kind of falls into suit, right?
Yep.
Tyler Baddish and then Tyron Smith. Who signed a center from? Oh, he says we signed. This is loyalty for life. I think the Cowboys actually signed a couple of centers, right?
Yeah, they got a Harlow from the Giants, I think.
Mm-hmm. We signed that center from. That's what he said from New York. Is Zeke still your center? With dog.
Wow.
Patron 64 says Hunt. I guess he's referring to Kareem Hunt. I don't know, man. He's still out there. Why hasn't he been picked up, Harv?
I have no idea.
And Patron says linebacker needs minor upgrade, Jones or Kirksey at least. I think Kirksey already found a job, didn't he?
I don't know, but with the linebacker thing, I think Marquise Bell is listed as a linebacker, so he's moving into that slot, even though he is a safety.
I mean, we gotta just trust Dan Quinn in his situation.
Yeah.
We signed someone today. We'll get to those in just a bit. Would you re-sign left tackle Peters one more time? Patron 64. I think me personally, I'm done with the Jason Peters experience, man.
Yeah, me too.
All right, cool. Who the Cowboys got week 1? Come on, man. New York Giants at MetLife Stadium. Cropper on practice squad is dangerous. He will be called up somewhere in the season, 100%. He's talking about Jalen Moreno Cropper. I mean, he has speed, Harv.
He's saying and replace Brooks. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I think with Brooks, the one thing that was questionable about with Brooks was his speed, but Brooks showed us that he has a second gear, right, Harv?
Yep.
And then who's that? Trevor Bowen says, "What do you guys think about keeping Hunter?"
Great idea, man.
I
Great idea.
me personally, I think that he's gonna fit wherever they need him on that offensive line, which is what flexibility, right? I think that's been
Yeah.
the biggest thing. That's cool, y'all doing this Cowboys podcast, but bear down, baby. Hey, that's by BG. Look, it's all good, man.
Uh,
I will say this, man. These Bears, their defense looks like they're ready to go, man. And the addition of DJ Moore and Roshan Johnson.
Look, I don't want to get into it too much, but if you follow East West football, you will see that my dark horse was actually the Chicago Bears. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, you can catch us on East West Football. Black Diamond says, "Evening, guys. A win or loss for game one." I mean, come on now.
yes. Now, look, this is what I'm gonna say. We should win, right? But I might be wrong in this. The Giants, I think this year are not a team where you can be like, "Yep, we're gonna beat them." I think they're a lot better team than people give them credit.
I'm gonna agree
Um,
with you.
and this NFC East, man, it's gonna get rough.
I
They
think
a lot of them got better. They got new quarterback and Sam Howell with the Commanders. Um, they brought Eric Bieniemy, which is going to bring a dynamic to that team. I just think I don't think people should just think that hey, this is gonna be easy. It's not, but we should win that first game on paper. We should win.
he says, "I say a loss for game one and a win for game two." Poppy says, "Cowboys by 10."
Let's
Uh,
go.
Alex Lopez, we are going to figure out how good our offensive line is going to be against the Jets week 2. Damn. I'll tell you this, regardless, there's not really, I mean, aside from Sauce Gardner, who do you really know on that? I mean, and Quentin Williams, who do you know on that defense, Harv? Like name wise?
The only other person I know is Will McDonald.
Well, of course, that was it looked like that looked like he was gonna be a cowboy this year too, right?
Oh man, I thought he was. But hey, things happen for a reason. But yeah, man, that's the only people I really know. But there's that defense is not it's not something to fool with. They have a good defense.
I like that guy's username. Papi Chulo says, "We will dominate." Right, loyalty for life. We always week one. We always lose week one for the haters, but not this year.
Hey,
BG,
Mike
BG,
McCarthy's 0-3.
he's right. You're right on that one. BG says, "Hope you all have a good season, man. Coming from the biggest Bears fan, y'all take care. Hey, take care. I know a couple of Bears
Yep.
fans down here in the valley, where I'm from, and dang, I'm like, damn, it says nobody.
But nobody.
Let me see. And then Joseph says, "My biggest concern coming into the season is our kicking game. I really can see some tough losses in games we should win, but due to miss field goals. I mean, Harv, this has been a storyline that's been being rushed under the rug of sorts, but he does have a good point, man. I mean, if it comes down to a 59-yard field goal for the win, do you trust Aubrey?"
I think I do, man. Give him a shot. It's his
I
job to
mean,
lose, man.
the kicker we had last year, Brett Maher. I mean, he had a great, phenomenal year, but at the very end, he just kind of just wet
I
the
don't know
bed.
what happened, man.
He really did. If that goes down, at least we got a legit backups and rush. We trust.
That is true.
Well, I mean, he did win 4 for you, right? I've been to training camp every year since the Cowboys came to Oxnard. This team is different.
It
Damn.
is.
Shout out, Papi.
Ooh. Who's the
Hey,
Papi Chulo?
give us a follow. Hey, who wants to do fantasy football with me and Harv and Kendall
Oh,
Whitley?
yeah. East West
Hey,
football, man. We got it.
it's $50 buy-in. We need 9 more people. We need 9 people. And all you gotta do is go. You can follow us on Twitter. The Cowboy Cast. You can follow East West Football or East West Sports One. But just follow the Cowboy Cast on Twitter because we retweet everything that's on there. The link is on there, and there's a picture of what it looks like to enter the league, man. It's gonna be great, man. I want to see if any of y'all can be. I mean, I know Harv he had a good streak at the very end. I've been known to win a couple of my leagues myself. Kendall's first time ever. It'd be great to interact with you guys all season long, and we're gonna be tight, and we'll see who has it, man. Can you beat East West football? So we need you guys to get on. It's gonna be through full time fantasy. So first place, they just pay out first place. It's 350, or next year they will give you your own beat. You know, let's say beat. Give me beat Black a Diamond, right? That's the way they'll say it. They'll fly you out to Vegas. You get to meet Eric Dickerson. I mean, they were saying, I mean, the names that they
It's
had,
crazy,
everything,
man.
it is insane. It's full time fantasy. They do it all year round, and then they're gonna have pickums and all that great stuff. So go follow us on the Cowboy Cast, and later on, if you guys are watching this on the replay, I will put the link in the subject line here. Uh, what's with the Rush Love? If he got cut today, he would be lucky to make someone's practice squad. Jeez, Louise.
What's up,
Somebody's,
man?
somebody's calling it. Says I lifelong cowboy. Okay, this is by Barney Rubble, 1984. A lifelong Cowboy fan since 1969. But but we know Dak can beat plus 500 teams when it matters. Hey Barney, Harv, what do the Cowboy? What does Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer have to do to get the best stack? What do they have to do on their play calling?
Hey, man, at the end of the day, they have to make sure the throws are quick and fast. And the other thing is they have to get them involved in the run game. That's what they have to do, man. Those are the things that work for Dak.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
you were the first one to say that, and that was last season, man. It was crazy. We had Ramiro, which I'm surprised he's not on today with us. Ramiro, we had him come on with us on the Cowboy Cast. And he was saying like, I don't know what it is. I went back, I watched the tape. He threw the pick six. He got involved in the running game and he got locked in. 24 completions on the number 2 ranked defense, Philadelphia Eagles last season. For whatever reason, whenever Dak is involved in the running game, he gets locked in. And I mean, his eyes are just tearing that defense apart. When Dak is involved in the running game and you see that player come out, is there any other quarterback that can match his energy as far as winning that game?
I think the only other one I can think of is Patrick Mahomes. And that says a lot.
Damn.
I'm just saying,
My
man.
my homie. So let me get back on here. Lukey can kick. He's the great white hope. That's loyalty for lifetime. I haven't seen it. Gilbert says he's in. Gilbert, if you have Twitter. If not, you can go back to I believe we'll have the link up pretty shortly on this one. We'll have the link, and then you gotta create a profile. You put your name. You gotta put your state, because in some states you can't play fantasy football. You know what I mean? And Maher missed the preseason field goal recently. I saw that. Question is, can I trade Dak for a kicker? Jeez, Louise. In fantasy football, I guess he said. Well, in fantasy football, you could trade anything, pretty much, I believe, right? And it just depends on some leagues. I don't even see kickers, but no, you cannot even trade Dak in the NFL. He has no trade clause. Cool guy shit. Hey, guys, go give Johnny a follow, man. He's always posting cool. He's actually my. I actually go play golf with Johnny on Saturdays. I don't know how we're gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna do it these kind of Saturdays, hard because football's back, man. Damn. He says, "What's up, Jerry?" Mama Diane says, "Salute Lee. Correct. Get the man to run." Scooter 1936. Dallas wins NFC East. Hell yeah. I love it, man. It says during training camp in Oxnard, they had a good amount of RPO. Gilbert, on there, it's just like anything. You create your profile, and then it's gonna you would select East West, and from there it'll give you the options of how you can pay for it. Mick Romance 6 says, "Fly Eagles fly, man." we'll see, man. You guys have a your team looks freaking nice for the future, man. Like, I mean, that defense looks like it's gonna be top 5 for the next 10 years if they
Yep.
can all stay healthy, Harv. We'll see, man. Eagles, we're not gonna doubt them. Right now, the strongest suit on right now, I feel for the Eagles, just looking at it and studying it, is their offense. That's what's gonna carry this team is the offense. It's not gonna be the way it was dominating on defense and offense. I think that there's too much turnover, and then you got two new coordinators, offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. Cowboys versus Chargers in the Super Bowl. Whoa, that's by a guy named Foco.
Okay.
I like that. Loyalty for lifetime. Good. Gone, fellas. Good. God bless. Hey, God bless y'all, man.
Appreciate
Yo,
it, brother.
Appreciate it. Detroit wins week 17. That's by Trey Reichart. Man, if you guys I'll tell you that's what makes this schedule so tough, or especially week 17. Damn, man. Detroit Lions had the number 1 scoring offense last year in the NFL. Poppy Juice says she-goes will fly into the toilet directly. That's not by that's by user, please. And he says, y'all shut us out last year. Philly gonna have a Super Bowl loser jinx. That is something, Harvard. I believe, it became something, the Super Bowl hangover, but I mean, the Bengals, Harv, did they have a Super Bowl hangover?
Well, obviously they did because they didn't make it back.
I mean, it's a thing, but we'll see. I mean, I think if anything, I think it's safe to say the NFC is going to run through the NFC East, and there is obviously all 4 teams. They all have their strongest points of their team. I think what the Commanders is just what are we going to get out of Sam Howell? The Giants can Daniel Jones, take that next leap that they need for their franchise quarterback. You guys going to any games this year? I'll be there for December 10th versus the Eagles. Damn, that's gonna be the games to be at. I think right now we've been talking. I think we've been looking at the Patriots one because we want to link up with Kendo. I'm glad y'all got rid of Zeke. I think move on from Dak after this season. Don't go with Lance. Oh, damn. Trey Reichart? Gilbert says Bengals have no offensive line. They really, I mean, it's been kind of sus, man, but they did address it.
I think Leo Collins is also on the IR.
I think he's on the hot seat, man. I think Kendall was saying that they're trying to trade him to the Patriots. Cowboys future is bright AF from Lions fan Trey Reichert.
Who's that? Trey Reichert? Yeah. So are the Lions, though. The Lions put a lot of good pieces together.
They did. That defense looks like if they could they're going to need a couple of weeks to gel together, and I think they can fit in. The good thing is that they got that safety, right? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, he's been to the Super Bowl. He knows what
they got Branch is. Too.
They get the Brian Branch.
Yep.
He's Papa Chu says I'll be at the games versus Chargers on Monday night.
Let's go.
He's a Cali Cowboy, man. That's crazy.
Dang.
I bet you it's tough. No, it's not. I've been able to actually talk to Steve Weich, man. And for those that don't know, you guys got to go back to East West and you see we talked to Steve Weich a couple times, me and Kendo, and man, dude, he said it on the first time when I asked him. I was trying to ask him, but man, I was just so starstruck. I mean, talking to Steve Weich, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy we see on NFL Network, man. I remember I was asking him, man. What I was trying to ask him was, what would he like to see from the youth that looks at him and wants to be the next Steve Weich? And he just said like he would like to see more Hispanics and Latinos. He says that when you turn around, that's all you see in all Cali, right? Is not only you see Cowboy fans wearing their Cowboy jerseys on a non-Cowboy game, but you see Latinos. So crazy. Dak and first round for Caleb Williams. Jeez Louise. No, Caleb Williams. Joseph said, what's the rush with Love, right? If he got cut today, he wouldn't make it. Joseph Baton said also something about Joe Burrow, which kind of goes hand in hand, right, with what we're saying. Let's go to defense. This is the defense that's going to win us the Super Bowl this year, Harv. Not eating the cheese. It just smells really nice right now. Micah Parsons, defensive end. DeMarcus Lawrence, defensive end. Sam Williams, defensive end. Dorrance Armstrong, defensive end. Dante Fowler, defensive end. That's a lot of edge rushers, man.
They're pretty damn good too.
Your
Every one of
first
them.
team for edge rushers is amazing. Your second team and even the little wiggle room at the end with Dante Fowler ain't no joke, man. Got you
Nope.
what, 6 sacks last year?
Yep.
Then you go defense tackle Osa, Odigi Zua, Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith, Neville Gallimore, Chauncey Golston is listed as the defensive lineman, and Junior Fahuko. This is where it got a little tough, right? Because we couldn't keep Land, and you're saying about the whole Gallimore, right? Neville Gallimore.
Yeah. So
I was hearing Brian Browdis, and he was talking to Vach Lombardi and some other people in company. And I think it was Vach Lombardi who brought this out, that the Cowboys, he said something along that. I think he's onto something too, because he said that the Cowboys not see that maybe Mati could give him that 3-tech penetrator. So what happens if Osa goes down? Then you're stuck with just a bunch of nose tackles playing 3-tech. You know what I mean? So you'd have to change up your defense. So Neville Gallimore can give you a 3-tech presence, but you just need him for certain situations. You don't need him for every down. Gilbert says they think us Latinos have no talent. They are wrong. I love it, Gilbert.
yes,
I mean,
sir.
look, I think it's 2023. I think anybody can do whatever it is that you put your mind to it, man. You just gotta put your mind to it and write out the plan and just do it, man. I mean, just don't sit on it. Do it. What so you guys think about the trade with the Dolphins? Another corner at it. Well, let's talk about that. Right? We're almost there. We're almost done with 53-man roster. Linebackers: Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark, and Devin Harper. Those are our 3 linebackers. Technically, you could throw Michael Parsons, but this is kind of where we're talking about the linebacker. But they, like you said, Marquise Bell is listed as safety / linebacker.
Yep.
So we're going to trust Dan Quinn in this. Then we're talking about corners. Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, Nashawn Wright. I believe he's on the IR, though. Eric Scott, the 6th-rounder. Noah Igbignagini. I'm sorry if I butcher that again. This is who we acquired for Kelvin Joseph. So we just swapped. Noah was a 1st-rounder. Kelvin was a 2nd-rounder. We just swapped picks. Noah's he's on 5'10", but he played a lot outside. I think they did try to play him inside. Kelvin was playing inside now, but he's more of a gunner. He was a good gunner too. I think we gotta just trust Dan Quinn in this situation. If that answers your question, Papi Chulo. I think if anything, we saw last year it was a mess. Harv, yes or no? When Anthony Brown, shouts out, he got signed by the Steelers today. He went down, and then Jordan Lewis went down.
Yeah, I think they're not going to put themselves in that situation again, because if you look at the setup now, we got Diggs on one side, we got Stephon Gilmore on another side, and then you got Jordan Lewis and Deron Bland playing the slot if you have to. Now, if one of them goes down, then Deron Bland can kick out. Jordan Lewis gets hurt. You know, Deron can always jump back inside, and then you have Noah playing outside. So that's why they got him. They want him to play outside. So at the end of the day, you can also have Izzy play inside. We saw Izzy play inside against the Buccaneers.
Slot. Remember?
So yeah, so
like crazy.
I think when you look at it, that's the whole reason they got him. Change of scenery is probably another thing. Same for Kelvin Joseph. So I like the move. I mean, we'll see what happens. It all depends on Nashawn Wright. What happens to Nashawn Wright when he comes back? I think that's the biggest thing too.
I think well said. I think Nashawn right now he's on the IR list.
Yep.
Somebody is saying, as long as the Cowboys have Dak Prescott, they will never win the championship. He peaked 2 years ago. Now, Harv, I think you were the first one actually on this one too. It wasn't that he's peaked as an NFL quarterback. It was he peaked in, what was your term?
I think the biggest thing with Dak was I don't think he's been pushed enough as a quarterback. He's been in the same system for so long.
There you go.
He's been in the same system for so long. And he was with Kellen Moore. I don't think he pushed him. So now I always said, why doesn't Dak take control of this offense like Peyton Manning? I never understood that. So I was I was so happy when Dak was calling plays. And Mike McCarthy is making them take ownership of this offense, which I think should have happened a long time ago. And those are the things we're talking about. This is going to be the first time Dak runs this offense and since he's been in the league. So to me, I think we're going to find out if Dak has reached his ceiling or he's not. I don't think he has, but only time will tell and games will tell. So we'll leave it at that.
And just for clarification, I believe when you had said he had peaked, you were saying Kellen Moore's offense that this is the peak. This is as
Yep.
good as it's ever going to get
Yep.
because they were ranked number one. Also, they were right there neck and neck with the Lions last year, all season, pretty much battling it out. Can they beat the Eagles? That's by E Love. I mean, they did beat the Eagles last year. I mean, yeah, they didn't have Jalen Hurts, but when the Eagles beat the Cowboys, they didn't have the Cowboys. We didn't have Dak. I mean, simple as that. Gilbert says, "Look, we have two Latinos that should be on Fox Sunday Broadcasting."
Let's go. We should have our own show, man. Latino show.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. America's team. We know
Let's
who you
go.
are. Shout out, fellas. Shout out to you, man. Go give these guys follows, man. Help them get up to 1,000. Like everything, man, and repost everything. Man. It doesn't cost you that much. Can they get past the 49ers? That's by E Love, Harf. I think that's been NFL selling a lot of tickets right now, aren't they?
They are.
It's perfect where they put it, right? Because it's almost as if the NFL wants the Cowboys to beat the 49ers and then to have to struggle with them in the playoffs. I feel it just feels like the NFL is just setting it up for that.
Yep.
If you get my vibe. I think we'll see right away. I think Nick Wright has been making a lot of noise. If you don't know who Nick Wright is, he's on First Things First on FS1, the guy with the long hair. I mean, he put out a great statement. I mean, he didn't attack anybody. He's not even a Cowboy fan to begin with, but I think he just says you're trusting too much in Brock Purdy, who's rushing back from an elbow injury. That's too much bank. And then you have Sam Darnold, who we've seen, he's seen ghosts, man. You never want to hear a quarterback say they see ghosts. Harv?
No, yeah. I honestly, I almost think Sam Darnold is. I understand Brock Purdy, but I think Sam Darnold's a better fit in that system than he is.
Well, I mean, some people will probably even say, "Why isn't Matt Ryan in this system?" Because I mean, he fit in with Kyle Shanahan. But
That's true.
Matt Ryan is a little bit older. We did see the decline the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Gil Gamis says Dak hasn't been pushed. He's Peso Pluma levels, needs to reach Daddy Yankee Palos. I guess that's the one thing that we've missed out right during the live is that this artist from Mexico is just came out of nowhere, man, and he's just making
Peso Pluma.
Peso Pluma. I mean, she's Louise. Yeah, man. If you're if you guys don't have kids, push them to be a musician. If not, push them to be a quarterback because those guys are getting paid, man. Of course, but obviously love them too. Rasta 1. Dak is not the guy. Lance is better. Wow. And he has a 49er wallpaper.
That's cool.
I don't know. I think Dak is that guy, man. I think like Harv, I think you said it. I think nobody has said what you said or reinforced what you said, right? Because we did hear Michael McCarthy saying Dak needs to take ownership of the offense. Hey, this last preseason game, he was calling the plays. Didn't it look like they were having fun, Harv? The entire team,
man. They were.
And the whole team. The defense was cheering on the offense. Everybody was on the same page, man. I love it. What's up with Gil Gamis? What's up with Jerry Jones? Oh, what's up with Jerry Jones not telling McCarthy or Dak about the trade? I think it's one of those things, man, where I think the Cowboys were just trying to get the trade done so another team doesn't come in with a 2 fourths or a third and a fourth. I just think they're just kind of blowing it up. And this is kind of what I we hear it in mainstream media. We've heard it from Cowboys content creators, and it makes a ton of sense. Anytime the Cowboys make any kind of decision, Harv, it just gets put on blast, man. I think that's the one thing that this move does is just make noise. And but the Cowboys are a strong organization. I think Dak is a strong individual. He's a strong man mentally, and I think that he's gonna just bring Trey Lance into his arms, gonna help him out. Rasta did say Cowboys will never get past the Niners. And it looks like the Niners will never get past the NFC Championship game at this time. I mean, if you want to be honest, let's go. Gilbert says Garoppolo was a good fit
Yeah.
with the Niners.
Yeah.
He just missed that freaking pass, man.
Yeah. Emmanuel Sanders.
Dude. Oh man. I mean, shoot, whatever. I'm glad. I'm glad he missed it. You guys should come up with a shirt with that new trend. Try that with a Cowboys fan. The trade for Trey Lance was a message to Dak. Everyone is dispensable. It's now or never. Bobby Chulo, I do think that there is something to what you're saying because we've heard Jerry Jones for the last 2 seasons, including this one. Inability, or what's his term? Because you know how he talks with availability is the best ability, right? And a contract extension is coming up, man. So if you can get somebody in your offense and he looks like he can get going, and your rushing game is going good, you don't have to put too much on the shoulders. Then we're not going to be without a quarterback. I think if anything, it's a win-win situation for both Cowboys and the 49ers. You gain something back for Trey Lance, vice versa. Hold on real quick. Joseph says, even if Dak is past his peak, doesn't mean he cannot take this team to a Super Bowl victory. People act like the only Hall of Fame quarterback win it. There's been many Hall of Fame quarterbacks win it and not at their peak. Boom. I think he's talking about like John Elway. He won it, at 36? 35 and 36?
What he's talking about his peak too was like, to me, I like Eli Manning. Don't get me wrong. But is he the type of quarterback that scared you?
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's trying to say. But he still won 2 Super Bowls.
He really did win 2 Super Bowls. Hey, TikTok, we appreciate the likes. We have 3,200 likes.
Oh, man. Wow. Appreciate it, man. TikTok.
Round of applause to you. Again, help us grow our YouTube, man. We're trying to hit 1,000. If you're on TikTok, the link is in our bio. Just click on there and just hit the subscribe button, man. That's all we need. We're trying to hit that 1,000. The trade for Trey Lance was a message, right? Okay, cool. We're caught up. And then Adrian Garza, I'm back. Puro NF 956. Good.
Let's go.
Okay. I won't get flagged for the other stuff. Joseph says Elway wasn't at his peak. Eli was bad half his career. Payton was far from his peak in Denver, championship, etc. So, I think if anything, Peyton Manning was using the smarts that he gained along the way, and that was really a defensive championship that they won because, remember how they blasted Cam Newton? Crazy. And didn't they go through a Super Bowl hangover too?
I think they did.
Rounding off our 53-man rosters, which is crazy to think, right? I remember we were asking for draft safety every year, man.
Now we got.
It doesn't look like safety is a hole in this team, Harvey.
No.
Got J-Ron Curse, JK. We got Dono, Malik Hooker, Izzy. Izzy still safety. Marquise Bell, man, I like this guy, man. Juan A. Thomas, man, damn, and he was getting the team hyped up for the third preseason game. You guys go find that clip of him hyping up the team, man. That got me motivated. And of course, we're gonna end up with Brandon Aubrey, kicker, and Brian Anger. So, dang, that is our 53-man roster for the Dallas Cowboys. Overall, Harv, let's give it a grade, man, before we get off air. Let's give this a grade.
So for me, I think the way I look at it, and this is going to sound, people are probably be like, oh, this guy's a homer. But let's just be honest. Like if you were to look at this team and you would say, hey, man, we're going to give this player up in each position. We're going to get a lot back for something for the most part. Maybe linebackers kind of iffy, but if you look at our defensive tackles, our defensive ends, our cornerbacks, and our safeties, and then you look at our starting offensive line, our tight ends, our receivers, our running backs, you're going to get something for each one of those players probably. That tells you this is a talented roster, man. So
it's a very talented roster.
For me, I man, I almost want to give it an A plus.
I'm right there with you, man.
But I'm gonna go with an A minus, and I'll leave it at that because this team is so talented right now, man. It's scary. Like I haven't seen a team like this. I keep telling y'all, man, in a long time. And everybody can say, "Oh, he's just a Cowboy fan." That's why. No, man. We've been through the bad years. We've been through the Quincy Carters and the freaking Testaverdes and the freaking like all
Drew
those
Bledsoe.
players,
Yeah.
Henny, like we've been through it, man. This is the most talented team. You go down the line for line for each other NFL team, man. This is a good team. So I'm just saying, man, you have to, man. You have to.
And here's your practice squad, just so you guys know. We got Earl Bostic, Josh Butler, wide receiver Jalen Moreno Cropper, running back Malik Davis, tight end Princeton Fant, cornerback CJ Goodwin, who he's a special team ace. Brock Hoffman, you were saying a lot about, you're like, who's 46? Who's 46? Malik Jefferson. Defensive end Durrell Johnson, Tyron Johnson, Sean McEwen. We were able to keep Sean McEwen, Sheldrick Redwine, Alex Taylor Prelu, and Tyrus Wheat. And of course, the IRs were Nashawn Wright, Matt Waletzko, Chuma Uduga, and Trent Siege, right? The long snapper. So we'll see, man. Like you said, it's a great, I think, if anything, the reason why I'm giving it an A, and you say A minus, I'm up there. I'll go ahead and give it the A plus. The reason why is because of the depth at each level. You know what I mean? The edge rushers, yeah, the offensive line's a little young for the depth, I think. But I think if anything, these guys will get the reps that they need. I think Mike McCarthy's handling this team very well. I think I think this offense is gonna surprise a lot of players, a lot of teams this year, actually. Joseph says A minus for me. Don't like the depth at linebacker and worried about Aubrey. Laughing out loud. It's all good. I think you could throw the it's just because the offensive line depth is so young. I think that's where we're a little bit uneasy. Well, other than that, that's all for us, man. It's our first live back on the Cowboy Cast. Of course, if you're catching this from the replay, we will throw the link in there. If anybody else, help us get to 1K, man. I mean, it's a new year, it's a new season. It's a tough schedule, but hey, we're gonna be coming back, man. We're gonna be coming back. The next live, we will try our best. Of course, if you subscribe, you turn on the notification, you'll get the notification when we go live. But normally, we're pretty good. I think we're gonna try to shoot for sure. Regular season will be back Sundays for kickoff and post. And then I believe we're going to try to shoot for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but for sure Monday, Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Because we love the interaction with you guys. We think that, man, anytime we interact with your comments, sometimes your comments turn into segments as it is. But that's it for us, guys. Harvey, anything else?
No, man. Like always, TikTok, be nice to each other. TikTok, always be nice. Other than that, man, keep it real.